report. So the proposal here, reading verbatim, this measure changes state law to, 1, legalize the possession and cultivation of limited amounts of marijuana for personal use by individuals aged 21 or older. So the 17-year-old, it would be illegal for that 17-year-old to use marijuana because it has to be 21 or older. But also, all this talk about purchasing at retail, cultivation, I could grow it.
Right, you could if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd love to. Weeds are they're beautiful plants, and they grow.
They are pretty plants.
And they grow like weeds. It's great.
That's why they call it weed.
Oh, really? And 2, would authorize various commercial-related activities under certain conditions. So that's really...
Yeah, licensing.
Yeah.
Licensed and taxed. It would bring in $8 billion or so, or it would be billions for sure, into the state coffers. The state's broke. But we have idiots like Dianne Feinstein going on and on about how her 17-year-old granddaughter, this is grandma talking, is going to be introduced, is going to be given a joint and talked into smoking it because it's legal when it's not legal for the 17-year-old to be smoking it. So this is an out-and-out blatant lie that she's providing. Thank you very much, Diane.
You know what's really funny? When I was in college for all of 3 months, the code word for when there was weed on campus? Do you know what the code word was back then? It was like, hey, that makes good sense to me, man. Use the word sense for sensibilia, right?
Yeah.
So here it is. Proposition 19, common sense control of marijuana. That's funny. Someone has humor, whoever wrote Proposition 19. It's like common sense.
I never heard that meme, but it's
makes good sense, man. It makes common sense, man.
Get it?
Get it? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
So just to finish this off, we had there's been a bunch of these debates. Usually with the people that are against the Prop 19 that argue against it, is their argument is it's a gateway drug, even though it's been proven not to be. It's a gateway drug, and the other real sensible, logical argument is, why should we legalize yet another intoxicant? We've got too many. Why should we legalize another? That's it. That's their whole argument. It's a gateway drug, and why should we legalize another intoxicant? Now, I have this other clip. Play it. This is a debate about 4 people, 2 people for marijuana, and 3 people, or 1 neutral and 3 people against it, including some doctor who's a Chinese or a Filipino, I don't know what she is, woman who sounds like that one that runs the UN or Miss Swan from the old Friday show or the Mad TV show. She just sounds like an idiot. I can't believe she's a doctor. And just play this clip and see how much of it you can stand.
It's not taking into account what doctors, medical researchers are saying in comparison to tobacco and marijuana. Dr. Seppi, would you want to say something?
Because I think it could also be like a gateway drug. What do you think about it being a gateway drug? If we're going to legalize marijuana for its property for pain control, why not just also legalize cocaine and heroin?
Yes, very good idea.
But this is not why we're legalizing it for pain control. It's already legalized for pain control.
But go ahead and
She's
do
an idiot.
That's the same thing. It does also for pain control. It helps people.
That was a question.
We want you to take OxyContin for pain control because that's the really good shit.
It was covered by the commission as well, and they found absolutely no relevance to it. And in fact, over and over and over again, in the research community, I have to be very honest, in the research community, the gateway drug issue hasn't been a question for 40 years. It's not even irrelevant.
Yes, but I am Asian, therefore I have credibility.
That's really important.
I take issue with that.
I'm sorry, every independent commission, every independent scientific body that has ever looked at the gateway theory has debunked it, including the Institute of Medicine in a report commissioned by the White House. It's simply a phony argument, and I'm amazed that it's still being dragged out.
Listen, that statement is totally inaccurate. Studies have shown that not every person that smokes marijuana goes to higher drugs. But the statistics show that 95% or more of the people who do higher drugs have started with marijuana. That's the truth.
With caffeine. Should we ban coffee as a gateway drug?
I can't listen to this, John. This is bullshit. I can't listen to it. Hey, let me ask you a question, man. For someone who doesn't smoke marijuana, why you're like really all over this shit, man? Why are you so pissed off about it?
When I was a student, I remember at the University of California, it came up as a topic.
Yeah.
And I think, and I bought into the idea it should be legalized because it's no worse than alcohol. Mm-hmm. And I knew guys who were actually alcoholics that had kind of become off of it. A friend of mine, as a matter of fact, was an out-and-out drunk in college, and he kind of got himself off of alcohol by being a pothead, even though he was, at least he wasn't going to kill himself or blow out his kidneys or liver.
Right.
And I've always, and then when the idea of taxation came along, and by the way, I live in Berkeley. I'm all in. I don't smoke pot. I don't see any. I don't. It's when you're older, it's like a silly drug to be dealing with. But I just don't. I see it as exactly as a prohibition issue. I see the whole thing was a scam from the beginning. I think that the usages will go down when it's like it has in Portugal. When it's legalized, I think it'll stabilize things, and I think that the scams that are going on around these drugs by the people growing it illegally and all the rest of it, and the drug lords is such a negative influence and negative impact on society that it should be legalized, whether you smoke it or not. You should realize that, unless you want to have the Mexican gangs take over the place.
John C. Dvorak's pet peeve of the day.
Hell yeah. Very nice. Well put, sir.